Hello, Jamie back from Inky&Scrappy today with some Let's Start Stamping fun. I think we might do this one in a two-parter. Well, I'll see. We'll see how it develops. I'm not going to promise you anything today. I'm still not feeling the greatest. I was hoping it was going to be done and out of my system by now, but of course not. Anyways, I picked up the Terrific Tickets die. This one is the window die, only because this one, I don't know, I probably didn't need both or either of them really. I absolutely adored the Halloween ones. They have a stencil that goes with it as well, like you can do some stencil ones. I did not pick up those. This one will probably be one of my next Halloween makes, I'm not gonna lie. But I know Halloween is technically over now. So, Thanksgiving cards, fall cards, and or Christmas cards. I mean, you know, birthday cards, year-round kind of stuff. But I thought I would hit some Christmas cards today. That's why I'm thinking maybe we might do two for some compartmental making type of things. I have ideas, and that's why I went with this. They have a Polar Express set, too, that's really cute. And if I had more train stamps, I maybe would have leaned that way a little bit more, just because I think the ticket tags are going to be fun. Think of it like the postage stamp die, right? But it's a tag. So you can like cut this apart and make this part of your card. So this is how I'm thinking, right? So I stamp it so I have 4 or 3 sets, but you can cut it apart at each one and then use that, because this is an A2 size card panel front. So I'm thinking putting the tag part towards the bottom, and then you have a square on top to kind of cover with a different image. So of course using like this Santa or something up here that would be like a small little scene, and then adding this ticket tag towards the bottom as kind of like your sentiment, I think would be really fun. So that's kind of why I picked them up, because I thought it would be fun. This one, because you can use it as a die as well as, you know, you're just cutting scenes and making little scenes in there, so you wouldn't have to use it the other way. So I've got lots of ideas. We'll see if I can pull stuff together to make it work. I do have some nativity scene dies that or stamps that I picked up from Whimsy that I want to use this year for Christmas cards. So I'll maybe figure in that at some point to do something with that onto one of these. We'll see. I think we might work with this one for at least a couple of cards, if not a bunch. But that's ultimately, so I picked up, this one is the Terrific Christmas Tickets. I'm going to guess that they're going to come out with like a spring one and a birthday one. I really want like a birthday one. It's kind of what I was hoping for. Coffee themed, if Whimsy is listening, would be right up my alley. I'm guessing a bunch of people's alleys. Let me go grab some paper for stamping on. Okay, so I ran it through the die cut machine quick. This is just some mixed media paper. It's the Tim Holtz stuff from Ranger. I don't like using wet mediums on it, but it works really well for ink blending, stamping on, that sort of thing. That's why I pulled it in today, just because I have it. I'm not in love with it, so I need to use it at some point in time. So this looked like a good project for some of it. Anyway, so I ran this one through twice, and that's, you know, this is A2 size, so you get, that's your leftover piece. I'm trying to think if there's, I have my ticket tags here, and then of course the one that I left in there, which was my plan. Where's my other one? Okay, I have both of them here. Okay, so, but this is basically what you get out of the die and all the good things. So you don't need the dies for these, you don't need the stamp set. I'm just kind of playing today. You know how this one works. I don't have plans. So we can do like the I would thought the candy cane Kringle company, candy company would be kind of fun to put that one with like the sleigh rides and the hot cocoa. So you could do that one with like a hot cocoa, a cup of hot cocoa would be cute. Die cuts and or like a colored image. The Candy Cane Candy Company, anything that was candy Christmas related, I thought would be fun. There's the sleigh ride. That could go with that one if you wanted. The gingerbread could go with either the cookie one or the hot cocoa. And so there's lots of different options on here. I just thought it would be kind of fun to play a little bit. So I think maybe, as we're doing this, let's see if we can get 3 cards kind of laid out. We won't get them done today per se. Hopefully we can get like 1 all the way done today. We'll see. Old-fashioned sleigh rides. And so I'm just going to kind of, I'm trying to think what I have ideas with. I know that I have gingerbread men and or cookies somewhere that I can make the cookie one work for me today. I also have the cocoa cup, which I think would be fun. We could either do sleigh rides or the hot cocoa. I think we're going to go with the hot cocoa. That one there. And let's see, Candy Cane Company. Oh, I'm going to switch that one out. I'm going to go Merry Christmas and whoops, Happy New Year. So I'm just trying to center them in my stamp image here. I'll show you another way to do it too. I'm going to go with the Admit one. The other way to kind of help line them up, if you have both pieces or you have the stencils, to kind of use this one as your guide. And so that's definitely an option as well. Oh, please stay stuck down. It's not going to today, is it? Nope. Fresh stamps. Curses. A little bit further up. Okay, let's try this again. Are we a little bit better? I don't know if we are or not. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so for this one, we can pull in some different colored inks. We can play on that respect. My first go was a hot mess, and so we'll see if this one goes a little bit smoother. I was trying to show how to do some like I don't want to say multi-level stamping, but you're using the same stamps for this one, but trying to get multiple colors in on the same images without a whole lot of, you know, extra work. I don't like masking. It's not my thing. I will sit there and do like some picky stamping, right? So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I get a better ink impression with the close to my heart inks, the dye inks that I have, but they're in the big ink pads, right? And so I brought in some of my hero ones. You can definitely, well, let's try. We can try the Distress ink ones. They just don't, as I say, I don't have very many colors in there either, which isn't going to help me. Those are my, I could probably go Lumberjack Plaid and for my red. And now that I lost all of my magnets onto my tin boxes here, I think we'll do Lumberjack Plaid. Let's try, I mean, my other one didn't turn out very well anyways. So let's do Forest Moss. I still like Ponderosa Pine better, but it'd be closer to Lucky Clover. We can do Lucky Clover maybe. Let's see. We have Evergreen Bow here too, which is technically like a Christmassy color. And then I want to go in with a brown. If you have, I think they did the mini distress Oxide cubes, which would be probably a good match for this one. I don't have them. I don't plan on getting them. I have the big ones for what I use most of my inks for. I think I'll be okay with what I have. So for this one, I'm going to start with my browns this time. So I'm going to start with a Vintage Photo, and I'm just going to hit the areas on my stamp that I want brown. So we're coloring with our actual images today, kind of like the solid image. So I'm just going to kind of, I go at an angle, so I'm not hitting it straight on. I'm hitting it kind of like this. So this edge here is what's actually hitting my stamp. So it's kind of like a broad tip marker, right? So if you have a water-based marker, you could definitely try doing your coloring that way. And I think I've showed that technique before. I just don't have them readily right in my room right now. They're MIA, I guess. Let's see here. I want to do the number on this one. I'm going to go brown. And by this, I'm going to try for the snowflakes on this one to go brown. I would probably like do those in embossing powder with some glitter over the top, like some iridescent shimmer would be pretty. You know, if you like glitter and those things. So I'm going to come in and get my gingerbread and my little gingerbread man. And we're going to hope for the best. So we're going to smush that one down. Using that stamp platform, you get a little bit more wiggle room, one can say. Please stay in one spot. Okay, so we have our first impression. It's okay. It's not the greatest. I think we're still mostly lined up here. I hope. I said this one's just not going well for me today. I think it's just, I don't know. It's because I don't feel good and I don't feel like putzing, and I chose something really putzy to do today. Do you have days like those? Yeah. Well, welcome to my life. I don't feel like putzing today as I start putzing, okay? The ultimate putz. That is moi. I'm going to lay this down a little bit quicker in hopes that it stays wet. If I wasn't on camera, I would probably go over the whole thing. Plus, I'm sick, so I really don't want to spread germs any more than I already am. Let's peel it up slow. I see my magnet ran away from me. Behave. I feel like Austin Powers saying, behave. Okay. Ink cover. So we've got the brown ones on there. Let's try the Lucky Clover. I'm gonna come in with a towel to actually clean off my stamps here. Just because I don't want to get ink from one ink pad onto the next. Not that I'd worry about it a whole lot, but if I'm going to my green or my red that's going to be lighter, I don't want to mix those colors on my stamp pad. So that's why I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to come in with the green on the top part of this one. And the trees, I'm going to try to hit those. I want the mug to be red, so I can try to hit the little scrolly thingies. I'm going to try to hit the old-fashioned on top of the sleigh. And because I'm going to be difficult, I'm going to try to get underneath that one. And then couple of spots on the gingerbread one. And don't worry if you're not perfect. Like, it can go over. It's going to give it a marbled, I guess, a marbled look. So I'm going to put that one down and see how that inking went. Not too bad. My Christmas one up on top here looks like it needs a little bit of work. That one looks okay. Bakery did not come out very good. Okay. Try that one again. A little bit better the second time around. I think we're gonna, I didn't do this the first time, but I think I'm gonna do it the second time. Free ticket. And then let's cover that one up, clean off our stamp again. And come in with a towel to dry it all off. And then I'm going to come in with that Lumberjack plaid, maybe. Okay. Let's see. We need to hit the Happy New Year on this one. I see that my and did not turn out the greatest. I'll think about that one. Okay. Think about my life choices on that one. Let's see. And for this one, I still need the sleigh. And the sleigh rides. And bottom part, the top part. The mug and cookies. And it probably would go better if I would just do one at a time, but you know, this is me. I like to go extra. That one looks good. That one looks good. That one needs a little bit of work. That one looks pretty good. And the cookies look good. So I'm going to go hit this one more time. And then the sleigh. The actual sleigh rides part looks actually pretty good. So it's really just the sleigh. And I just need to do that. The and on my Merry Christmas part just, it's not looking the greatest. Okay, come on. There we go. A lot better. So there we have, why did you choose not to transfer? Okay, so there we have kind of our original one. And this could be your whole card front. I would put this with a nice Christmassy pattern paper on the back side of it, and that would be your card front. Like, that's all you would really need. You wouldn't need to do anything else with it. Of course, this is me, so I'm gonna separate these out, kind of have a little bit of fun with them, and do those sort of things. So we can definitely pull in this one and do some ink blending in those. That's why I bought both of them, because it's like, oh, I can take this one and kind of use it as a stencil. So I spent a little bit more for the actual die, but ultimately I'll use it as a stencil as well. It's just one of those things that I would do because that's how I roll. And then the other option is you have the inlay pieces that you can definitely, you know, stamp little mini scenes on these and lay them over the top. Either back into this one, you can make a shaker with this one. Yes, it's happening. And of course, you can color these little ones and then lay them over the top. And so that way it gives you a lot of options. That's kind of why I bought the whole, both of those dies and the stamp set, because it just gives me a lot more options to play with. So for this one, it does have all of those little, you can either cut this with your cutting thing, or you can, you know, do it this way. I'm doing it that way just because I love that torn edge look of what you think of as like those tickets, you know. And so therefore you have your 3 little pieces, right? And so now it's just a matter of dressing them up, maybe doing some ink blending on them, playing with them a little bit, all of the things. So let's see, I don't know what I want to do. Let's be real. I'm going to go find some Christmas papers, another stamp set to play with. Which one should we do today? I'm really rocking the hot cocoa one, and I'm thinking maybe some lawn fawn. Let me look at what I've got, and we'll get one more card done today for sure. And then we'll do the next 2 in the next video. Yeah. Maybe. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I went through some stamp sets, some paper pads, found stuff that matched with the colors that I picked for my stamps. I don't have a whole lot of in 6x6. I have tons probably in 12x12s, but I didn't go that far. So I'm pulling in the Groovy Merry and Bright paper pad that Susan gifted me for Christmas last year. It's got some fun colors in there, but the colors really matched the colors that I stamped my tag, so I'll probably be working with that paper pad. I'm pretty sure this one's Hobby Lobby, if I remember right, and I think I might have even saw it there this year, if you're interested. So for my brown on this one, I'm going with E357, which in the new color is E511. If you're going with the 2025 new numbering system on the Ohuhus and you wanted to know. And then for my green, I'm going to go with the G473, which is my marker color, which is the older number. And then of course the new one is BG212. And the red, I picked 2 reds. I don't know how well they're going to go together, but I wanted a darker one, so of course I'm bringing in that R865, which in new number is R215, and then the main red that I wanted, the one that went the best with my actual image here, was that R584, which is the new number of 412, R412. So if you're curious, that is up on my Etsy if you're looking for the number conversions in real time. So I think I want to do the hot cocoa mug. I just think it'll be fun to pair with this one with a little hot cocoa ticket. And then, but there's other options, right? So the Ho 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 Holidays from Lawn Fawn would be really cute to do like a little Santa in front of the sleigh mini scene and put that little old-fashioned sleigh rides tickets underneath it would be kind of cute. The other one I pulled was the snow globe scenes. Those snow globe scenes will fit pretty good. I mean, you'll have to extend the line, right? But ultimately, they'll fit pretty good in the actual ticket tag. So if you wanted to do that sort of thing. The other one is the Ready Set Snow set. It's kind of smaller, and those would work in there as well. So those were just a couple of the sets that I had when I was looking for my Thanks a Latte set from Lawn Fawn. So I think that's where we're going today. So I think we're going to go with the bigger mug just because space-wise I'm thinking A2 size paper, right? So I'm thinking this mug is going to take up a little bit more room on there, and so I'm going to go with that one. Maybe we'll do the little scarf around it, and I'll leave this one here for color reference. But it's got the peppermint in there, so you could definitely mix that with like that peppermint saying. Would be really cute. So I think we're going to use this one today. Oh, I didn't clean that off yet. Well, I'm going to hand stamp today. So because I am going to do some alcohol ink coloring, I am going to use my Xpress It blending cardstock. If you don't have blending cardstock, the Bristol Smooth stuff works perfectly fine. I did go to the store. They did not carry the Lisa Horton ink. I thought they had, but they had a lot of options, but they did not have that option. So I picked up the Detail Black from Pink Fresh Studio in hopes that it will be like the old Lawn Fawn and or Hero ink that I love and miss. It is what it is. So let's ink it up and try it and see how it goes. And because we're using the stamp block, so I'm just gonna I hit it a few times just because I want to make sure that it's going to actually stamp. Well, one and done, right? So our first impression looks good. I'm gonna also pull in this little guy. I just love the fact that you get to decorate your mug. Like, put the little scarf on it. I think it's adorable. And I do like doing this with an actual ink, like an actual block, because you can kind of see where it's going to go and you don't have to go up and down with the door. And that one didn't stamp as well, but I also didn't press it into my ink pad 5 times. So there's that. But I'll make it work. Do I want to do, so in the top of the mug you kind of have the options to do the marshmallows, or you can do the little latte with the little heart in it. I am going to go with little marshmallows in the cup, you know, because we're going with the hot cocoa. And so, but you could definitely just go with the regular one and then put the little whipped on top. So if you like whipped on top of your hot chocolate, you have that option as well. So I'm just gonna line this up and hope for the best. It looks pretty good. Okay. Well, I guess we'll find out. Do I want to do, I'm trying to think what color I want. Mug. I think I'm going to do the mug red. I will do this one. I'm going to come in with green. And so because I definitely got a lighter color in here, it's probably going to look not so much like there's a line there, but that's okay. Kind of that no line coloring look. So I'm going to start where I want my darkest shade. I am going to only do this one with one color today. I just didn't want to pull in too many colors and markers. So I like to let it dry in between my layers if I'm only using one color. This helps build up that color layer. And then of course going over the whole thing that I've already colored and then adding a little bit more into it gives you the second layer on top of your first layer. And so by doing it this way, you get that two-tone look with one marker color. And so I'm going to kind of do that with that one as well. And then by this time, this should be fairly dry, so I'm going to go with a third layer over the whole thing. So whatever wasn't already colored is going to get one layer, whatever was colored once is going to get 2 layers, and then the edges there are going to get that third layer, and then it should dry back and you'll kind of see the variation there. And then the same goes with my little scarf here. Just going to go over that whole area one time, and then this one last time. And so there we have our scarf done. So that kind of helps give you some shape, some definition with one marker. So that was one marker color, right? We didn't need to have 3 or 4 or 5, like, you know, sometimes we try to say, oh, we need more. We don't always need more. Sometimes we just need to layer. More layers equal less marker colors needed. I'm bringing in the geranium on this one just because it's a larger image. Granted, we split it in half with the scarf, so I think we'll have a little easier time getting that color variation with, we probably would have been okay with the one, but I wanted to give it a little bit more depth on this one because I want it to look round. So I'm going to start with my outside, And this is the darker tone already, so I won't have to go over this one multiple times. So I'm just going to pull it in both sides. I'm going to leave the handle. I think we'll do the handle a little bit lighter. I'm only going to use that one for that first layer. Then I'm going to bring in my lighter tone, that 584, and come in with a second layer. With this one in the first layer, I'm just going over that first color a little bit. I don't have to hit the whole thing this time. I don't want to bleed out that darker color too much, because by going over your darker color with a lighter color, you are going to push the darker color back into the paper a little bit more, and it's going to lighten it up. So kind of in that, oh, I didn't want it to be that dark there, hitting it with your colorless blender or a lighter tone is going to push that darker color further into the paper and lighten it on the surface. So if that's something that you've come across, but also going over it just a little bit helps to build up that blend or work with that blend, because you're blending the lighter color into the darker color. I hope that makes sense. And then for my second layer on this one, I will go over, I kind of hit the same area with this one, going over the new area once, but kind of touching again on that old area, because I want it to darken it to the point that we're going to be able to see the second layer of color over the top. We'll do the same thing on the bottom side. And so there we have our mug for the most part. I'm going to come in and do the handle. I'm going to start at the base here, like where it's connected to the actual cup. Let that dry a little bit. Come in with a second layer, going over that first layer again. Coming in again with that next layer. Jamie, you have stuff everywhere today. And there we go. All right, so, and then I'm just gonna go over that whole handle one last time to get a third, so you should get a little bit of a color variation there. So, my brown for my hot chocolate. So, I'm gonna kind of do that same, I like to make it darker kind of on the back side. Actually the front side, right? Because this side's going to have your shadow from the front of your mug. So I usually do a darker here, and then I kind of do that corner look. So to kind of give it that, it doesn't really need a round look. That's just kind of how I color this one. So I'm going to do that first layer, and then I'm going to come in once it's pretty dry. I'm going to come in and do a second layer. I think my brown needs to get a refill. Every time I go for refills, they're always out. Either everybody is buying refills, or they don't have any in stock. Ever. Okay. Stories of my life. Okay, so for this one, I need to do a little bit of color on the marshmallows. Not a whole lot. I'm just going to do a quick tip-to-tip touch. That's the wrong marker, my dear. And then I'm going to come off on the top here first and just kind of push that color out. I don't need it to be that dark. I just want to kind of hit a little bit here so it kind of has a little bit of color to it, not bright white. And then I'm just going to make sure my marker tip is done. Finish coloring that out. And then we need to cut out that image, and I think I can do, I actually have a die set for this one, so I can actually use the die set for this one and run it through the die cut machine. So we'll line that one up. I do like that. I mean, it's like cuts such a teeny tiny little bit out of that handle, like it's not even really worth it, but it's still fun when I can use the die, because then I get that little cut. So I'm going to run this through the die cut machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I ran it through the die cut machine, maybe. Okay, we'll pop that one back in the envelope before I lose it. Set that one off to the side. Okay, so now I have doesn't match as well. It looks more pinky now, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to cut down my pattern paper here to 4. I think I want a 1/4 inch border. Do I want a 1/4 inch border? Well, let's do 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I can decide when I get my layout going if I want to go a little bit smaller. So this one here, I think we might want to pop that on to a circle maybe. Or we could even do maybe a little square, a little white square. I want to color this, put a little bit of ink blending on that one, I think. Bring that in. I want a square of, I don't know, white, maybe. That lighter pink would work. Brown would work. Let's see. What are my options? I don't think this one has a lot of tone-on-tone color stuff. I probably picked one of the more mellow yellow. Sorry. More mellow colors on that one. Let's see here. We could go pink with it. I think we're just going to end up with white. I like this one. It's a shiny white. I'm always good for a good shiny white. Let's grab. Why did you do that? Why? I just made a mess. Tell us something new, Jamie. Jamie making a mess is nothing new. Okay. I have options here. Okay. So I have the little stitched square, which is just going to be a stitched one. This one is going to give me the frame. I like that, but I don't know if it's really going to go with that edging. I think I'm going to just go with the stitched one because it'll match the stitch on that one. So I'm just going to run this one through the die cut machine. Cool. Okay, so I have that one, ran that one through the die cut machine. And then we can pop this one. I like that. So I think we'll pop that one on top. It's shimmering and shiny. You can't see it, but I can see it. It's pretty. So we'll do that one on top there. I think that one would have been really cute and like an ivory shiny, but I don't think I have an ivory shiny, at least not close. So I'm gonna bring in this one, and where is my brown blending brush? Might be a hot mess express, but you wouldn't have me any other way. Okay. I am coming in with a Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to kind of hit the outsides here. Doing this on a glass mat or a plastic mat, like just your regular old plastic table mat, the plastic cutting boards, like the flat reusable ones or the throwawayable ones or whatever, disposable ones I think they're called. As long as they don't have a texture to them, works fine. It's gonna allow, if you're not doing it on top of something that's porous, right, it's gonna allow you to keep picking that ink up from your surface, and so you don't have to go back and dip all the time. It just saves you on ink when you're ink blending. So there's that. I'm also gonna come in on this one and do kind of that same thing. I do the brown just because I think it's going to go with that hot cocoa look, and I think it adds that nostalgia feel, I think. I'm going to fold this back and do both sides. I haven't decided if I'm going to tear those apart or not yet. This way I have the option and I don't have to come back and re-ink, but it also gives you that look by just folding it on that line and inking both sides. You get the look that you have. I don't know. It just kind of gives it, it's an extra step that just kind of gives you that little detailed look. I had to look up to see how much of my mess you were seeing. Jamie Marie. Okay. And this one isn't going to ink, we can try, but it's gonna take forever to ink blend, like the ink blend to dry, because it's more of a glossy surface, and so you're more than likely gonna get a whole lot of fingerprints in it. So I'm gonna try it. We'll try to get it without the fingerprints. I'm gonna try to grab it from the edges. I think we're going straight down. Okay, so I'm just gonna pop this one onto, and this is a smaller square. This one must be like a 2.5 inch, 2.25 inch square. I would probably, if I had, I don't know if I have the bigger one, I would probably go with a 2.5 inch square. I don't know if I'd go the full 3, just because. So it should be an inch in from each side, right? I mean, that's the thought here. That's 1.5 inches. Oh, okay, never mind. It's 1.5 inches in from each side. So I'm gonna try to go 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, and 1.5 inches. So that would be centering it on there. You wouldn't have to center it on there. That's, you know, fun new choice. Okay, I probably won't center it on there because I have this. Can I move it? Can I? Ooh, it's gonna move it. Okay, let's do one more time. I do have glue on my base now, but I think we'll be okay. It'll hide. It'll be okay. I'm gonna go up here a little bit, just because I'm gonna center kind of top to bottom, because my bottom image is coming. So where this is a square that I just got all ink everywhere. Okay, the square is gonna kind of be, it's more of like an oval or a rectangle when you're looking at layout. So that's why pulling it back up and moving it up that little bit kind of just helps your eye shift and adjust. So I kind of like going this and then peeling this off and kind of hitting it there. So I am going to tear this one apart. Add the little sleigh ride ticket here. Pull that in just a little bit. And then I'm going to do totally there. Or do I want to go? I really like it right here. So I'm going to put this down right there, and then I'll put my mug on last. This way my mug can kind of overshadow that one. I'm going to pop it up, I think. But this way, I'm gonna try to keep my distance from here and here the same. It just makes it pleasing to the eye, I think. And so we kind of have equidistance from here to there. It's not exact, right? Because it's all crooked. But visually, you look at this point, and it's visually pleasing, in my opinion. Okay, let's pop up this little guy. We're gonna find the scissors. Not the one I was aiming for, but a scissors. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we will remove the backing. I love speeding through this part when it comes to not real time, because it's like, you know, we know it takes forever to peel off those backing pieces. It feels like it, at least. Okay. And we're going to pop this one right here. Oh, and look at that. It sits just fine. So there we kind of have our little hot cocoa with the old-fashioned sleigh rides from Whimsy for our card front. I'm probably just going to go with a generic Merry Christmas sentiment on the inside. I will have video footage for you of that one. I'll have a picture of that one at the end. I haven't decided what I'm putting on the inside, and this video is probably getting close to that hour mark. So I will be back with part 2 using those other tags. So there's our card for today. Our extras that, you know, maybe I'll pull in that one that I didn't particularly care for this one, my practice run per se, and make that into a card. I think this would make a really cute full card front panel background. You do a shaker with it, those types of things. Where is that other one? I have so many ideas with this die set, but I mean, I could totally just make this one into a shaker and put different shaker pieces in there. So maybe we'll do that next week. I was hoping to do some with both of those, and so we'll see what I end up coming up with. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you're ready for some Christmas makes. I'm gonna try to get a few more Christmas style videos done this year. I'm also gonna try to do a few more series, so working with one stamp set, or in this case this stamp and die set. I think it's fun to see different ideas for the same stamps and dies used multiple different ways. I think it just kind of helps get more use out of the product that we have, not always having to buy new stuff. Some of us need to get better at that. I'm not gonna name names. All right, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. If you're watching when this one releases, I hope you had a safe, happy Halloween, and of course, I hope you're ready for some November magic. Bye.